So, uh, we're going to back to Colombia. Colombia and Puerto Rico actually are very similar in history. Colombia used to be occupied by Spain. Spain and Puerto Rico had a history of uh, shared culture. Puerto Rico was influenced by Catalan language. Puerto Rico was influenced by the Kingdom of Aragon, but it was also influenced large part by the culture of the Italians, the Visigoth. We are Visigoths. We are Germaic from Germany, from France. Franks are Germaic. They're Germans. Um, we are a Germaic tribe. The Colombians are also Visigoths, so they're indigenous Visigoths. And Puerto Ricans are indigenous Visigoths, which means that they're half Spaniards and half Italian. We're half Spaniards and we're half Italians, but we're indigenous. Venezuela, from the Orinoco Belt, had Tainos travel from Venezuela to um, to the Antillas. The Tainos traveled through the mountainous layers of the Antillas all the way up to towards Hawaii, towards Alaska, and throughout Florida. We were there as Taino tribes before even the Spaniards. So, because all those areas were mountainous regions, volcanic mountainous regions, the Colombians, like the Peruvians and like the Mexican Aztecas, the Intacans, which were the first indigenous before the Aztecas, and then the Mayan takeover of the Aztecas. The Mayan take over the Aztecas. Spain bought Visigoth, Vandals, Alans, Basque, Celtic bloodline to the Americas. And they conquered and killed many Aztecas, many Mayans. But Spain comes from the indigenous. They have they had, which the Romans called Hispano, and it's called the Iberian. The German indigenous of Spain, the Germans indigenous of Spain, and also let us not forget Carthaginian. We have also Carthaginian. This is Carthaginians were actually, rulers for a long time and enemies of Italy, but they ruled, and I believe Grenada, Andalusia, and that part of the region. My ancestors Moral and Mercado are Jewish ancestries. And Moral, a tower, you don't build a tower without the architect of Judaism. Moral, that's Moral. They used to build towers. And these providences are by the Catalonia area which was predominantly ruled by Christendom. So we are in Latin America. Some were less influenced than we were, the indigenous side. If you go to Peru, Peru was actually appointed by Spain as the compass for the Americas over the Antilles. Although Puerto Rico was the head of the Americas, meaning its entry and exit, the Peruvian side of the Antilles was the military compass for Spain. So, Colombians, like, well, Don Simon Bolivar spent most of his life in Colombia. He was Colombian. His tomb, then he ended up moving to Venezuela. His tomb was in Colombia. And I was able to see Don Simon Bolivar's Masonic apron in New York City. But a lot of Latinos from the south northern side of the hemisphere are Italians. Take care.